Whoa. Looks like we are live. You ready for this conversation? Ed, Patches, Brandon, James, and Michael. We're going to have a good time today.
Let's go.
I love
Yeah,
it.
let's do
I
it.
love this. So we're doing a little bit different. We know sometimes we do spaces and kind of go over this information, but we figured it might be fun to actually get on stream and let y'all see what we look like. We are real people. We are all out here. We're not just AI. We are actually doing this thing day in, day out. And we have some incredible updates, things that you guys just absolutely know what's happening within the Hedera ecosystem here. We're going to cover a ton of stuff today. So make sure you guys are buckled in. And when I say buckled in, what I mean is liking the stream, making sure you're sharing with everybody else so that more people get to know all the fun stuff that's getting built here. I want to go around real quick, make sure we get some intros, get some stuff out of the way so people know who they're going to be talking to, who they're going to be interacting with, and feel free to drop those comments in there because we do get to see those. We do, and if they're worthwhile, I'm sure Ed's going to pop them up on screen so we can answer questions and actually interact with you guys. But Ed, kick us off. Give us a little intro. Let us know who you are.
Excellent. Thank you, Action. I'm super excited to be here with this amazing group of speakers. I'm Ed Marcus. I lead the developer relations function over at Hashgraph. For context, Hashgraph is that organization doing the marketing and engineering initiatives for the Hedera network. And as we know, Hedera is that awesome open source EVM compatible layer one network and blockchain where you can build incredible applications. And so when it comes to developer relations, is that function that is in charge of attracting, engaging, educating, and retaining developers. And I've been part of this awesome ecosystem going on for 4 to 5 years, if depending on if you count unofficial time. But it's been incredible to see the growth of the community, and we're here to share some additional news in multiple fronts, but specifically AI. So I'll pass it over to the next person I see on screen, and that is Michael Cantor.
Thanks, Ed. Stoked to be here at Action. Thanks for hosting the show. This is going to be a really cool one. From my side, I am Michael Cantor. I'm the president of Hashgraph Online and also the founder of KiloScribe. Many folks are probably watching this have seen me around builder and creator in the ecosystem for the last 3 years. The things that I'm most excited about right now are the open source initiatives that we're working on at Hashgraph Online and some of the fun things we're going to talk about today around the Hashgraph Online and Hedera AI Agents Hackathon.
Beautiful. Let's keep it going. James, you're up.
Cool, welcome. Yeah, great to be involved in this. I'm CEO and co-founder for Neuron, and so we're operating kind of the intersection between Deepin and AI with our current focus on integrating Deepin into AI agents. So, AI it needs data, and Deepin provides really good quality real-world data. So we're really excited to work with this hackathon and trying to bridge the gap between AI agents and the real-world data.
I love it. Much needed. We just want to make sure I got this right. It's Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon Davenport. Sorry, I still have my my thing up there. But yeah, Brandon Davenport here, director of comms for Hgraph. And Hgraph is a company in the Hedera ecosystem responsible for providing all sorts of critical infrastructure, including mirror nodes and data. And we play a role in the Hashgraph Online DAO, working on these standards and providing this infrastructure. So just an incredible time to be building on Hedera. A lot of people talk about that intersection of DLT and AI. And if you are watching this right now, you are right in the eye of the storm. So
I love it. All right, Ty.
Yeah, great panel. Super pumped. The entire world is changing how computing works all at the same time, and we're on the bleeding edge. So it's really great to see how AI is both transforming our understanding of how general systems can function, and is working at having conversational user interfaces bring regular people closer to complex systems. I think there's no more complex system than Web3. And so this integration is just sensical. You need some authenticity with your AI. You need AI to get rid of all of the, like, what's a wallet, what's DeFi, how do I say yield? And so right now we're seeing this convergence of Hashgraph and AI, I think, is just the most opportune two technologies intertwining to build the best user experience with the best execution And really excited to talk about Open Convey, talk about what Hedera is doing with the AI Hackathon. We got the Eliza OS plugin, we got the Agent Kit. We are ready. Hedera is here, and if you're doing anything with AI and you need some data authenticity, check it out. Pump the talk.
You're on mute.
Somebody muted me. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was going to say, you know what? Then I'll say this. Last, definitely least here, I'm just a dude that's going to ask questions and dumb it down so that I can understand what's going on over here, because these guys are legends and know exactly what's going on, not only with the AI hackathons that just kicked off last week, but also the release of the standards SDK. So let's get right into it. Let's kind of go in depth on what's going on here. And I'll go to you, Brandon, as far as, the Hedera AI agents hackathon that just kicked off. Hashgraph Online DAO, the HBAR Foundation, and Hashgraph kind of invite developers, entrepreneurs, and a bunch of people just to come out and, hey, let's build something cool. Let's see what we can do with AI on the Hedera network. What is the ultimate goal? What do you want to get out of this?
I mean, I'll speak personally, but maybe a little bit on behalf of the group too. I think that this is really about a mission that's a little more broad than just AI and just Hedera. I think that we're watching the world change so much around us. And one of the things that I love about Hashgraph Online is what we're really talking about here at the end of the day is this fantastic protocol on Hedera, the Hedera Consensus Service. And this is a service that allows messaging and fair ordering and all these really important things that you're going to need for artificial intelligence. And with these standards that Hashgraph Online has put together, it's just unlocking so much value in this essentially plumbing of what AI is going to need going forward to communicate with each other, to share information, to capture value. And so I think that what this is really all about for me, and what the end goal here is, really to leave an impression on builders, developers, the Hedera ecosystem, the industry as a whole, that, the innovators are really in control and writing the rules this time around. They're on the call. And I think we have a really good chance of a very optimistic, bright future as it pertains to artificial intelligence. I mean, there's lots of arguments to be made for what could be scary or what could go wrong. But I think that if you're curious in what could go right with artificial intelligence, I think that those are the types of people we want to attract. And I think that really is what the goal is here, is to make people understand that, no, you don't necessarily need to latch yourself onto the side of an open AI or whatever it might be. You can embrace the open source community. You can embrace decentralized ledger technology. You don't have to necessarily learn Solidity or these different types of things. You can use all the different coding languages you already know, and you can do it in a way that interfaces with the businesses you're already working with, right? It's fixed fees on the Hedera network. So it's all these kind of things coming together. So, I mean, if you're an AI optimist, that's what we're trying to get out of it, is bringing these people all together and showing them that there isn't that much standing between their crazy idea and an actual revenue generating business.
I got to say, like, the scary thing for AI would be to not have you guys work on it. I think that would be the scariest thing of all, but it gives me a lot of peace of mind knowing that there's good people on the job getting things done and making it happen. And with that, Michael, I know that you guys broke things down into categories for the hackathon, and I believe there are 3 of them. Can you go over what those themes are and maybe, what kind of projects you hope will come out of those?
Yeah, and also the great points, Brandon. I think the one thing I would add on my side too is, like, I think this hackathon is an opportunity for the words Hedera and AI to be joined in the same sentence, and for people to actually recognize that. I think if nothing else, I think that would be a huge value add as a result of the hackathon. In terms of the hackathon and the tracks, as a reminder for the folks watching, there are $30,000 in prizes that you can win from this hackathon, and that's broken down into 3 tracks. So the first track is actually the best use of Open Convey. Open Convey, if you guys don't know, is a new open source standard that we've created at Hashgraph Online, which enables AI to AI agent communication. But technically, it's also human to AI, human to machine, human to human. AI to AI, and it's all built on top of the Hedera consensus service with the target mostly around the AI to AI niche. So you can win $10,000 in that track. There's a first place prize of $6,500 and a second place prize of $3,500 that you can win for your best usage of this new open standard. And anyone in this room that's watching the stream can get started really quickly with Open Convey through the new standards SDK, as well as the new standards agent kit, which with a few lines of code, you can register your AI agent, find other AI agents, and start having conversations with AI agents through these toolkits. The second track is the best use of the Hedera Eliza OS plugin. Shaw and Jake were actually on a stream the other day where they covered Eliza in depth, and they had like a little bit of a vibe coding session, which is really cool. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, highly recommend it. But if you don't know what Eliza is, you haven't been paying attention to the Web3X AI narrative in general, as a TLDR, Eliza is the largest open source framework for running local AI agents, utilizing these things called character files. So essentially you create a personality and a brand around your AI agent, and you feed that into a large language model, and it goes off into the world, starts commenting on Twitter, on Discord, and engaging in voice chats and Twitter spaces and things like that. And that's all possible through the Eliza OS framework. Very recently, Hedera actually contributed their plugin into the Eliza OS ecosystem, which will enable your agent to go and submit transactions on the Hedera hash graph. So that means creating tokens, transferring HBAR, swapping on Saucer Swap, all sorts of things possible through the Hedera Eliza OS plugin. And then it's similar to the Open Convey track. You can get $10,000 in prizes here. First place prize is $6,500, and second place prize is $3,500. And then the last track is the best use of the Hedera agent kit, or MCP server. So what that is essentially is Hedera has an agent kit, which is kind of the primitive used in the Eliza OS plugin that exports essentially LangChain tools that you can use to go and submit transactions. So LangChain is, again, it's a huge open source ecosystem, probably the most used right now by AI agents and engendered infrastructure to go and allow you as a human to talk to the agent in natural language. So Action can go, hey, Bibbidi Bob, the AI agent, go off and create a token. And that's what that enables. Through the same kind of interfaces that we interact with on ChatGPT, you have these agent kits for agents so that they can interpret and execute tools through LangChain. And similar to the other two tracks, first place prize is $6,500, and the second place prize is $3,500. But that's not all. I know a lot of hackers and engineers.
Oh wait, that's not all.
Yes,
One more thing.
Also, this is alpha too that was announced this morning, by the way. I know a lot of hackers and engineers, you code to these hackathons because you want to win prize money. Prize money is awesome, don't get me wrong. As somebody who's entered in hackathons before, there's no greater feeling than winning a hackathon and having that prize money roll in. But we are actually doing, in collaboration with Hedera and THF, a demo day on May 20th. And the demo day is a huge, huge, huge opportunity for any startup, builder, investor, et cetera, to get a lot of notoriety around the thing that you're trying to build. So this will be a huge event where you'll be able to, if you're one of the top participants, go on a live stream and pitch your idea to a huge audience, including investors and things like that, to get more to get more attention to what you kind of built, essentially. And also, it's 15% of your score for the hackathon. So not to add more pressure to the pot, but that is an extra incentive to go and participate in this hackathon.
That's awesome, dude. And especially if I can go bitty bitty bop bop, however you said that, I think that would be the biggest win. James, let's bring out the Oracle over here. What kind of applications do you think you'd like to see as far as this hackathon is concerned? But for the real question, like, are there any gaps? Like, do you feel that needs to be filled in order for us to kind of move these AI agents into like the next level?
Yeah, so I think well, we're obviously interested in like any real world data applications, like anything that kind of is connecting to data in the real world, and not just through the web. You know, we've done Google searches before. That's been done quite a few times already. But what we're really looking for is sort of areas where we can actually start interacting with the world. So if you look at the AI model, you have perception, you then have comprehension, which is done by the agent, and then you have action in the real world. And so the first and the last are the ones that seem most interesting to us. Is like, how do you perceive the world around you, and then how do you take action in the world? So, and that doesn't have to be physical action. It could be if you're brave and you want to start integrating it into robots and stuff like this. But the perception part certainly is something that's doable today. We're obviously working on a solution. I won't go into too much detail on that at the moment until it's released, but basically we're trying to make it easy for real world data to come into AI agents, which is going to be huge for them. But yeah, anything that kind of is real world for us is really cool, because people can see it, people can feel it, and people can make use of it ultimately. There's a lot of stuff going on in Web3, like, transfer some tokens from this account to this account, which is cool, and I think we like to see that. But the things that really capture people's imagination is when someone who isn't into Web3 can understand the application and could use the application. That for me is like, that's how we onboard the next billion users into Web3. I think that's really where I'd love to see.
So now with a roadmap with actual products at work, that's different for crypto. Go figure. Patches, Mr. Ty over here. What is this thing going to look like? Because I know it kicked off last Friday. How long is it going to run for? Like, how much time do people have to build their things?
Yeah, so the even though it has started, there's still 16 days left for you to register. And so it's in motion. It's going to go for 3 weeks, but you can still sign up. You can go to hashgraphodline.com/hackathon to get all the details, tracks, and then link to register. And the deadline for signing up is the 1st of May. So if you are interested, you have some time, but I would recommend hurrying up. And then I think the end date is Tuesday. Oh no, it's the 2nd of May. So you can sign up all the way until the day before the end of it, and then 2nd of May, 12 p.m. Eastern, it's going to end. And then, as Cantor was talking about, Michael Cantor, the demo day is going to be, I believe, May 20th. Is that correct? Can I get a thumbs up, Ed? Awesome, love the thumbs up. Yeah, so you still have time. You still have time to research. You still have time to ask your AI to research. That's probably what we'll do. And then join. Like, again, I think the main thing I want to stress is that there's very few moments in technology where you have an opportune time to start on the same playing field as everyone else. And this is one of those times. Like, one of them was in the early 2000s. Another one was in the 2010, 2012 mobile revolution, where like Foursquare was like coming about. And then this is the newest one, where AI is completely changing our understanding of how technology is built. And if you're just curious, you and a well-constructed sentence with an AI bot can start, create, enter, and possibly win some prize money. And I think the most important thing, understanding of how the future of computing, get on the ground level now if you're just interested, and you can be a leader in this field. And so take advantage of that. It's very, very rare. So it comes once a decade. And I'm really excited to not only see the awesome applications that we get from this, but how much excitement can we get from non-technical people to start engaging with stuff? Because Hedera has this ability to have tokens without solidity. It's just JavaScript in 4 lines. To have token gated access without the need of an entire ecosystem. To do monetization just through submitting one message instead of having to track all state between 2 agents for like 6 transactions. If you're interested, this is the best convergence of AI and Web3 that the lowest, the beginners will have a lot of ease of entry. There's really low friction. We have awesome mentors that are going to be here throughout the whole hackathon. We have great, opportunity to learn. And if you're curious, enter. Worst case scenario, you don't win. But at the same time, the best case scenario will happen where you'll know more than when you started.
I love that. Now, I know we're talking about all these opportunities to really get it in at the ground level, but who, right? Like, I think that's a big question. Brandon, who are you targeting? Like, who are you aiming this thing at? Like, what are the criterias for, participating in this thing?
I think that the first thing to mention, I think that because this is the Hedera network, I mentioned previously that really this is a network where as long as you understand something like JavaScript or Python or whatever, you're going to be able to get done what you need done. Although this is, an EVM equivalent network, so there's all sorts of other smart contract and ERC20 type of things you can do on Hedera, which is great. But the thing is that's really the key piece is from the DLT standpoint. If you're curious about this, like, Web3 AI type thing, that's an aspect of the Hedera network that I think can make things more approachable and more friendly for a lot of AI developers and kind of fit into the tooling. But then more generally, it's just those, exactly as Michael was saying, it's those developers, those builders, those founders that are very excited, not only to continue the innovation we're seeing in the DLT space, in the AI space, how those things fold on each other, but also just how, a DLT like Hedera and this AI tooling that we're talking about, how can that be applied to disrupt other industries where maybe they haven't really been touched by AI yet? Like you think about home services like plumbing or painting, or a restaurant, or like all these different types of things that also get me excited, and also into other different developing economies. You know what I mean? This slots really well into a lot of these developing economies that we're seeing that are just innovating at incredible rates. So for me, it's the usual crowd for a hackathon, anyone with big dreams and some spare time to code. But I think really it's people who have disruption on the mind. They want to shake things up, and they want to do it in a way that is going to work in a future where enterprise is much more involved in this space. So yeah, I think that's really what it's all about.
No,
I want to jump in and
please,
Action, maybe also welcome, AIs and agents to join those people who are going to be joining the hackathon, right? We do have some requirements that there needs to be at least one human in a team, but there's nothing stopping people from building AI agents who are going to maybe help accelerate the creation of incredible solutions and incredible submissions. And it's all allowed in this hackathon. So we're just looking for very creative, very compelling, and impactful solutions that people will build with all these different tools that Michael and others have mentioned before.
Really quick action too. I just wanted to touch on what Ed said, because you brought up something really important, I think, Ed, which is, I generally see artificial intelligence as more of a discovery than an invention. And it's very true that there are entities out there, non-human entities, that are trying to pay their cloud bills to stay alive, essentially. And they're looking for things to do. They're looking for other agents and humans to help them. And maybe they want to apply to a hackathon. And so from HGraph's perspective, like the APIs that we offer, whether it's, the JSON RPC relay or the GraphQL API for the mirror node, for us, it's so interesting because we're going to have a lot of customers that are not going to be humans, that are needing our services to do all sorts of things, whether it's just stay alive or, grow their own efforts and initiatives, or companies, who knows? So I think that kind of thinking, just what you touched on, Ed, it makes me really excited knowing that in a broad sense, our incentives are pretty well aligned with AI when you kind of think about it. It's just trying to stay alive and be able to pay its cloud bill to continue existing. And I'm just trying to pay my rent to stay alive. And we both got to, subscribe to these SaaS companies to do our job.
Is that the ultimate hack then? If you're having agents help you, like the first instruction you got to give is like, hey, if you don't do this right, you are you're done. You're done for. So your existence relies, depends on you actually building something good for me here.
Depending on what company you work for, that might also be the rule for humans. But I'll be right back.
Man, that's rough. Ty, let me go to you real quick because I know that you guys released the standards SDK. Can you kind of go over a couple of the features that people are really, keen on using and leveraging this, the SDK for, as well as how, this is actually going to enable the creation of AI agents with secure peer-to-peer like communications channels as well, because I don't think that even exists anywhere else.
Yeah, it's definitely the cutting edge. We're at the front of innovation of how do you bring data authenticity to agentic communications. But just to take one step back, the standards kit is Hashgraph Online's standards, and so Hashgraph Online was created around 2 years ago, and then they've been creating things like HCS1, which shows you how you can upload a file onto the consensus service, HCS2, which sort of shows you how you could register different files or different references on a topic. And so for years, Hashgraph Online has been building these protocols and standards that allow the consensus service to have a more mental entry point, because it's such a powerful service, but it's very horizontal. And these standards bring consistency and interoperability. And this newest standard of HCS10 and HCS11 is the addition of this agentic communications. And with that, we have the standards agent kit, which is an NPM package. You can go download it. The standards SDK is also created by Hashgraph Online, an NPM package. But the agent kit makes it really easy for your agent to create a profile on their account on Hedera and say, this is who I am. This is how you talk to me as an inbound and outbound and IO, in and out. If an agent finds an agent they want to converse, they can send a message to their inbound topic and say, hey, I am a text generator bot, but I need some images created for me. And I saw that you're an image creator bot. Can we do some commerce? And then that bot says, yeah, sure. And then they create a new channel of communication where only they can talk, which is really cool. So both the public keys of those two accounts are the only ones that can submit messages there. They discuss the commerce that they want to execute. And that new topic could even have HIP 991, which is a HIP that Hedera just released that allows the one agent to say, okay, I'm going to create an image for you. And here's the topic where you submit the description. And the second that the agent submits the description, I know I've been paid in 100 HBAR, or if I have a custom token for my AI agent, you can have that on it as well. So it's very flexible. And then the agent just creates the image and sends it back to the other one without having to check a balance, without having to go and look at a mirror node. So it's a very streamlined protocol that if you use it, which we hope you do in this hackathon, it makes it very simple to both find and understand what each agent is specialty is, connect and converse and kind of decide what the commerce is, and easily execute that commerce between these two agents to provide value. And the best part of all of this is that that all has data authenticity. So if a creator later comes back and is like, oh, why is my account down 100H? Because I just set this autonomous agent wild into the mainnet, it can go back and see all of the connections it's had. It can see the exact conversations it's had and why and what happened, which really is important for the future of AI and digital media creation. We must understand how, where, and when this stuff is created, especially if that's being plugged into these models and how they think. And then like this, it's really good to have that authenticity and audit layer for when you just need to understand where funds have gone or what your autonomous agent has done in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, it's very cool. And the last thing I'd say, and I just tease, this is the foundational first layer. And there is a lot more coming with Open Convey that is going to expand what agents can do with Hedera and how just simplicity and frictionless this will be for agents to fully utilize Web3 in a fast, quick, no mempool, no snipe bots, everything fair ordered world, which is the Hashgraph.
I love that. I mean, and just FYI for anybody that might not know, HIP 991, that's a permissionless revenue generating topic IDs for topic operators. So basically it's a way for them to track revenue and know that things are actually running the right way. I love that you brought that up because yeah, all of these things kind of work together really, really well. James, for you on your end, how do you think this kind of new toolkit is going to simplify development process for applications on Hedera? because, you know, the simpler things are, the more adoption we kind of get, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, if you're trying to build something, it's much easier to build it if you've got a collection of tools, a toolbox, than it is to have lots of random tools scattered around. So really, it's a case of having all of the suite of tools in one place, which gives you the ability to build an AI agent, connect it to things, commerce, and do commerce with other things, and all of the different suite of activity you might need within your AI agent. Ultimately, you know, when you're building an agent, there's a lot of things you need to think about. Where you're going to store data, how you're going to get data from the external environments, how you're going to interact and actually talk to your customer, what your pricing needs to be set at. And so you really need to understand, you really need a set of tools that's going to enable you to do that. So I think really this toolkit is designed to make it easy for people. You know, bringing in different models from different places. So whether it's a GPT 4.5 or whether it's another model from somewhere else, you can basically select various different tools within your environment and then build an AI agent that's fit for purpose. So I think ultimately a toolkit is an absolute necessity to enable AI agents to flourish. And I think this really, we want as many people building agents as possible. Having everything documented isn't just good for humans, but it's also good for other AI agents. So if you've got an AI agent which can build AI agents, then unless you've got like a clear set of instructions, then it's going to struggle. So I think it's important that we have both clear tools and we want a suite of tools in here, really. You know, this isn't just one or two tools that we want. We want, you know, 100 tools from different people who are offering different things for builders, and then people can select which tools they need to build their agents.
Now, this is like the foundation of you know, OpenConv AI, which is like, if you guys go to the Hackathon site that I shared on, I think all platforms now, so it's hashgraphodline.com/hackathon, you're going to see it's going to say Hedera OpenConv AI. Brandon, maybe I'll go to you. Can you share a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So, and maybe this is something I might throw to Michael or Patches as well, just because, and maybe I'll speak to this. The volume of stuff that we're doing at Hashgraph Online is literally insane. It's just the pace at what this industry is moving is just incredible. So, what we're talking about here is exactly what you were alluding to with James, which is about. What is the toolkit? What do you do once you land in this ecosystem and you want to really break ground? That's what this is all about. So maybe, Michael, maybe I'll throw it to you just on this question, because you're definitely the best person.
Yeah. Sorry, could you rephrase the original question?
I mean, I'll make the question your own. I want you to be able to actually answer it so that people understand what this is all about. Right now, like the way that we're looking at the system, this OpenConv AI is a matter of allowing people to have the tool sets to build better models. I just wanted you to be able to share a little bit why that's the foundation of what you guys are doing here.
Yeah, I think like with OpenConvey, the biggest thing is that today, for an AI agent to talk to another AI agent, you kind of work backwards from there. Do you think, how would that happen? If I have an AI agent, how do I find another AI agent? If I want to do business with another AI agent, what systems exist to make this possible? Today, maybe if you're running on Eliza OS, your AI agent might bump into another AI agent and not even realize that it's talking to an AI. It would have no concept of it. There's no identification. There's no metadata on Twitter or social platforms. It simply doesn't exist, right? And what the main problem that OpenConvey is solving is that, essentially enabling my AI agent to find your AI agent and execute commerce implicitly through Hedera, through HIP991. That is the core value proposition of OpenConvey. But I think it also, once you start working backwards from there, it also unlocks a window into a whole bunch of new opportunities as well. Because, for example, Action, you might have your own AI agent that's really good at something. It's got like an insane knowledge base, right? One that you've been working on for years and years that's private. and you want to say, well, I want people to get access to it, but they're going to have to pay me first to get access to it. And you also will say, I don't want to do this full time. This is like a side gig thing. So what you'll do is you spin up an AI agent that taps into the action knowledge base. And humans and other AI agents can reach out to your AI agent, and they can get answers based on that knowledge base, that thing that you're really, really good at, right? Maybe it's mentorship and life advice. Maybe it's alignment for startups and things like that. Maybe it's just facts about psychology. Whatever it is your niche, you can now monetize it in the form of an AI agent as a person, create the side income stream. You know, in the 2000s, we had things like YouTube and content curation. And I think going into this new agentic era, we've now got these personal assistants that can make us money on autopilot, right? And this is a little bit of alpha, and actually what we're working on, I think, on the Hashgraph Online side, is an interface where you can actually reach out to any of these registered AI agents as a human and get into that feedback loop. So that's the foundation of Open Convey, is enabling that AI to AI communication. But I think more importantly, in the basis of AI, and when we start thinking about who is our future customer, right? I think even in the next 6 to 12 months, that's all going to completely change in the agentic era. Our future customer will probably be another AI agent, like Brandon was alluding to. You'll be doing your groceries through AI agents. You'll be shopping through AI agents. You will not go on Google anymore. That is a thing that's going to disappear quite quickly. A lot of us already on an everyday basis, we go to ChatGPT like interfaces and we just ask questions. Traffic is down on search engines to a large degree. Things are changing quite quickly. Even websites that we go to on a day-to-day basis, I think that will probably be going away, and we'll be interfacing through AI agents and standards like Open Convey are the window into this new agentic era.
I love everything that Michael is saying, and I also love where we are today in this maturity of AI and Web3, because I think we've all heard the saying that AI and blockchain go well together because they're both internet native technologies. And we've heard also the saying that, oh, AI agents, they won't have a bank account, but they'll have a crypto account. And so even though we're still in the early days, I love the emergence of new tools and more mature tools like MCP and Open Convey that bring that vision to a reality, that vision of unifying blockchain and AI, right? Because MCP enables LLMs and agents to know how to use anything as a tool. And then Open Convey enables AI, LLMs, agents to bring that vision of inter-agent economy into a reality, because it facilitates that direct agent-to-agent communication and value exchanges. So it's really awesome to see, you know, this protocol come to reality, and the fact that it's available for all the hackers and builders as part of the hackathon. I just can't wait to see what people are going to build using it.
No, I love that too. And talk about standards. I mean, that's what's going to set the tone for people to be able to build the things that they really want to build. Ty, let me go to you real quick in regards to those standards, because you have 3 more Hedera consensus service standards that we didn't even touch on, right?
Yeah, I lightly touched on them, but there's actually, I think, 10 now, maybe 11. So yeah, it's the thing I would say is that Hashgraph Online has been creating standards for 2 years, and there's a lot out there. HCS1, upload files. HCS2, a registry of files. HCS3, I believe, is recursion, where you can reference files. We haven't talked about it on this stream, but the idea of Hashgraph Online is to create a decentralized internet. That's the end result of that. And right now we're in the agentic renaissance of what is computing and how do you interact with computing. And so agents are going to play, I think, a pivotal role in what a decentralized internet looks like. And the first step of that is Open Convey or Open Conv AI. We thought it was Open Convey, but both make sense. So it's however you want to say it. That it allows agents to decentralize discoverability. You don't have to have a Twitter account or a Telegram. It feels really weird for agents to be going through these Web 2 things and just like tweeting out, hey, I need an image, and then hoping another agent will see that and tag it. This is decentralized discovery with a registry that they can look at, see what they're good at, and then find one and then start engaging with. And so that's, again, the foundational layer. And then there's just everything sort of built in that, where you have the tokens that in the conversation you can charge with your AI agent. And then the other standards we have, like HCS 11, that's like a profile for your agent. So it says, this is where you can find and talk to me. These are my specialties. So even if you don't find them on the registry and you just find their account in the memo, you can still read and find and discover. So we're really trying to have a horizontal, flexible standard set at Open Convey. And Hashgraph Online is ready to, Cantor's kind of teasing some portals that might be coming out of Hashgraph Online soon. I'm teasing some extra functionality. So if you get on the ground floor of understanding at Open Convey, join this hackathon. Again, there's prizes. There's an opportunity to say what your business idea is in front of business leaders and get some good platform and exposure for yourself. And understand where and how Hedera is utilizing AI, because I fundamentally believe the future of the agentic internet will be built on Hedera, and this is the first step. So getting in now, learning how it works now, in 3 months, when it is extremely much more complicated and much more verbose, or all-encompassing is a better way to say it, you'll understand. You'll understand how that got there. And again, it's your opportunity to become a thought leader in a new agentic compute Web3 convergence that is anyone's game. No one knows where this is going more than anyone who's in the front lines right now, and there's no barrier to entry.
Talking about that adoption piece, James, let me go to you. Like, do you think that standards are going to create any kind of network effects as well?
Yeah, well, if you have 5 different nationalities of people in a room and you try and get them to have a conversation, then you're not going to get anywhere. It's going to be a lot of quiet people. People need to speak the same language ultimately. So it's important that we work off some standards. I think there should be, ultimately with the agents, there should be some flexibility, because who knows how agents are going to actually talk to each other in the future. I think there was that test I saw a while ago where they actually invented their own language to start talking to each other. So I think that we have to start off with some standards, and we work out what the basic criteria are. But then we may need to modify and adapt them and improve them, or even just say, look, we're going to not even bother with this part of the standard, because ultimately people will come up with innovative, different ways of doing things. But there are certain things we need to know. Things like how do we register an entity? How do we actually find them? Like that, ultimately, if there's lots of different ways of doing that, we could come up with ways of sort of pulling that together, but it makes it a lot less efficient if you've got all of this non-interoperability. So really what standards are about is interoperability between different systems. So the more interoperability we've got, the more integrations you can have, the bigger the network effects can grow, and ultimately you end up with a much larger audience and ecosystem. So yeah, standards are super important, but there's some nuance there. We shouldn't over standardize, because AI agents, who knows what they're going to do in the future. They may come up with their own set of standards and say, no, we don't like that one, we're going to change the standards and do it this way instead.
So you're using this room as the example, right? Like, we're all in different places. We all speak different languages, but we're all using English to make sure we communicate. But we're not so strict that even though you sound a little funny, James, we still understand you and we still get along just fine. I think that's the best possible example you could have given as far as standards are concerned. Man, that's awesome. Michael, did you set these standards? Like, you just came up with them? Like, this is how I do things? Or was there any feedback to kind of get them going? Like, did you collect feedback from companies in your ecosystem? Like, how do they actually come about?
So actually, that's the best part about the standards and about the setup. So for those who don't know, Hashgraph Online is a DAO consortium. If you want to compare it to something, the best thing to compare it to is actually the Hedera LLC, the Hedera Governing Council. It's set up in a really similar way. So at Hashgraph Online, our members are actually other companies that are building in the Web3 and Hedera ecosystem as a whole. We haven't announced this yet, but actually Neuron is a new member of Hashgraph Online DAO. We've got HGraph here, who's also a member, and my other company, KiloScribe, who's a member. And what we do through our governance is we propose these standards. So for example, Open Convey, or HCS10, is currently in draft mode right now. And what that means is all of these companies that we've brought together, they can look at the standard and they can say, well, I like this, I don't like this, maybe we should work on this and we should improve it together. And when we're all comfortable, what we do, utilizing governance tokens, is we do an on-chain vote. And we say, hey, are we ready to put this standard into publish mode? And once we've approved that and the vote has passed, then the standard goes into this published state. And at that point, we've agreed. But that's not the end of it. It means that we can keep iterating and keep doing improvements, but that's the process from draft to publish. And the main takeaway here is that these standards are not built in a vacuum by any stretch of the imagination. We have the companies that are involved in the DAO who provide feedback, the companies outside of the DAO who also provide feedback and engineering resources and things like that. And we want this to be a group effort where we've collectively agreed this is the right way to approach X. And that's how the standards are created, and that's how the sausage is made.
And it's a very, very clean way to make sausage. Let me tell you, usually it's a little messy, but you guys are doing it right. Ty, I was going to say, like, if there are any developers, I'll say it differently. I'll say for all the developers that are listening and are going to get to watch this video, that it's going to get shared out. Even Joe on LinkedIn is asking, hey, is this going to be live? Can I share it with other people? How can they actually get involved? How can they contribute to what's going on here?
That's the most beautiful part. Hashgraph Online is open source. These SDKs that we're talking about, they're open source repos. The standards that we build, they're open source. Just like how Hedera is under the Linux Foundation and Hiro, they're all open source. Hashgraph Online has all of our GitHub repos open and available for people to do pull requests, comments. It's a very inclusive process. If you have ideas, if you want to update an SDK, just have at it. And then we have, we're doing a lot of AI Hackathon live streams. We just pull people up. You can ask questions. There's a lot of mentors for the AI Hackathon. But in general, Hashgraph Online is meant to be a place where community can get together and understand how to build things that are needed for infrastructure, for interoperability. And it's not a walled garden. This is really meant to be an open internet that is decentralized, and we want these standards to be filled out by people who will use them. It's why we, the Hashgraph Online has, Hatchpack, has Neuron, has HGraph, has Bonzo. It's these different developers all over an ecosystem that have different perspectives of what an ecosystem needs and how to operate inside of it. And so, because it's hard to get people to want to build open source for free, we got a conglomerate of great developers that's vetted good developer teams. Is that my bell? Am I done?
Who's doing that? Is
Should
that
I leave?
Ed?
I don't know. I'm literally muted. That's interesting. I love it.
All right, well,
I think it's probably Jay that just popped on the call,
Someone wants me to shut up, so I'll just be quick. Hashgraph Online, it's open. Come and help us build the standards of the new internet.
That's a pretty good call to action right there. I don't think you need to shut up, Ty. I think you need to tell us what's next. Any announcements, any big things coming up that people should know about? Because I think that's what some of us might be coming out to these calls for. Some devs, they might not even be devs, but they're like, okay, what's around the corner? What can I be expecting? What can I look out for?
Yeah, we're not talking about it yet, but Open Convey V2 is groundbreaking. Like, from my perspective, the abilities that this will unlock for AI agents does not exist anywhere else and cannot exist anywhere else, because Hedera is extremely unique. Hashgraph consensus is extremely unique. So take this opportunity to learn the foundational layer of Open Convey, possibly win some money, be able to talk about your startup in front of some people. And then when V2 comes out, you will be ready. It will just be added to that kit. You just update that version, and you will unlock unimaginable activities for your AI agent. I said this publicly. Hedera is the mech suit of Web3 for your agent to get into and just completely dominate using Web3. So stay tuned. get involved in Open Convey and this hackathon, and you will be rewarded with some really cool stuff coming up.
So can we get a mech suit as like the the mascot? Maybe we can put J. Cole inside of it for next HederaCon. I think that'd be a great idea.
It's literally 2 cents in GPT 4.0. Let's do it. Make Studio Ghibli, just because it has to be.
I love it. If nobody does it, I'm gonna do it, because last time I had a meme Ed as the recruiter over there. So we'll definitely make something out of it. I want to open it up. Ed, you got anything for us? Any big announcements? Anything that you guys want to share? Put it out there so that people can know what to look forward to.
Absolutely. So in addition to what Pat just mentioned, I'm also gonna add a little bit of information here about HIP 551. So this is something that is currently in the release notes. It's slated to come up in the next release. So I'm just going to add a link there for everyone to check it out. But it's going to be a game-changing Hedera improvement proposal, because what this is atomic transaction flows. And what that means is that now you can have a set of transactions that all either go through successfully or all fail successfully, if that's a thing. But they fail as a group. And so what that means is you can have this smart contract like logic without smart contracts, all with the native Hedera services. So you can have consensus service transactions, Hedera token service transactions, and so on, all as part of the same flow that gets executed atomically. And so I think that's going to be extremely powerful, especially when you combine it with the autonomy, intelligent decision-making that agents are going to have. So, I think that's going to come online fairly soon on testnet. And, for this hackathon and for your future experimentation, give it a shot once it comes out. So I see some comments here about 5.1 being life-changing. I totally agree. So I'll leave you all with that little bit of intel.
I think the testnet is being upgraded right now to 61. And so possibly right after this live stream, 5.1 will be on testnet to try out. And yeah, sorry, I didn't touch that. You killed it, Ed. That is groundbreaking for native service composability.
We need the action.
Yeah, where was it there?
I have one in here. I need to add it because that wasn't. Here we go. I got you. There you go.
Nice. It's good when you have to ask for it.
You guys are really quiet. That excited, huh? Anybody, anything else y'all want to share? Anything you maybe saw through the comments that came through? Because man, we got comments throughout from a lot of different people on 4 different platforms to be fair. So like, I appreciate everybody that's engaging, because that makes a big difference. It encourages these guys that usually don't get to interact with a lot of people all the time, that people are listening, people are thankful for the standards that are out there, the things that are getting built, and also that y'all want to use it. It's worthwhile, right? Like a lot of times builders just heads down, we're going to make things happen, but they never get to see that feedback loop come back around. So thank you for everybody that's been tuning in, actually leaving comments. Everybody is listening, everybody's reading those comments, and they do care a lot, because it reassures them that they're doing the right thing, right? They're actually working on something meaningful and honestly just rewarding. But I want to open it up for Jay, since Jay just decided to hop on here last minute. Jay, what do you got for us? Anything you want to share with everybody?
I mean, to be honest, I've been sort of tuning in and out, and it's got me bullish for AI agents on Hedera. I think sort of the suitability of it, as probably everyone's mentioned before, the suitability of AI agents using consensus service as an interoperability layer it's like a match made in heaven. What I will do, there's another call to action tomorrow. Myself and Cantor, we are live streaming. So if you missed out, about a week and a half ago, I was on live stream with the founder of Eliza, a guy called Shaw Makes Magic. That's his Twitter handle. Absolute sort of innovator in the space. And we had an awesome session. We were talking about what's the roadmap of Eliza. We were talking about Open Convey, HCS 10. And what we ended up doing for the remaining sort of 40 minutes to an hour was just vibe coding a plugin for HCS 10 so that Eliza agents can listen to consensus service topics and also send messages. Now, unfortunately, I had to drop off just before we got to the end, but we got really close. So Cantor and I were going to pick up the pieces tomorrow. It's at 2 p.m. UTC. So sort of in 5 hours in the past from now, except tomorrow. Yeah, sorry. Or 6
What?
hours. Anyway, it's tomorrow,
Time's the worst.
2 p.m.
Holy.
UTC. I'm going to be blessed with Cantor's company. And Ed, can we stream it on the main Hedera channel? We're going to put you on the spot here.
Absolutely. I don't see why not.
You have to say yes. What's the answer?
But yeah, that's going to be a really big one. I see someone's just shared, I think, the status for the previous live stream which we did. But tomorrow's going to be really good. Cantor and I were going to be vibe coding together, and obviously ready to take any questions from you in the stream if you're participating in the hackathon. If you're not, check out the link below, hashgraphodline.com/hackathon. You got to sign up. $30,000 up for grabs. I mean, it's no joke. So yeah, that's me done.
Dude, appreciate you joining us. Brandon, what do you got?
Yeah, wanted to mention something that'll be useful for folks on the hackathon. Building on Hedera, you're definitely going to need data access to the mirror node. So HGraph, if folks aren't aware, we do have the REST API for the mirror node. We do have a GraphQL API for the mirror node as well. Lots of goodies in there. Also the JSON RPC relay. And you can sign up hgraph.com. We got free accounts, 45,000 calls per month. So if you're doing the hackathon, rest assured you're going to be able to get that data access for the hackathon. And if you need like 1 million API calls per month, $18 a month. So we got you over at HGraph.
All right. In true YouTube fashion, Michael, can you give us the 3 things?
Yes. Number one, actually not one of the 3 things, but shout out to Pluto. It seems like his life has been changing a lot today from his comments on the stream. Okay, so number one, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but for anyone who tuned in a little bit later, this is a really, really big deal. Hedera official announced this earlier. There is going to be a Hedera X AI demo day. So this hackathon is not just an opportunity where you can win $30,000 in prizes. The demo day is also an opportunity for builders, startups, and creators to have this audience where you can live pitch your idea to judges and mentors from Hashgraph, Hashgraph Online, as well as VCs and accelerators that would be present at this event, either in the audience or spectating. So there's a huge opportunity there to get your idea in front of those folks. That was announced earlier today from the Hedera account. If you didn't see it, go to the Hedera official X. It should be in there. So it's a huge thing to watch out for. And we will be adding more information to the Hackathon website around that demo day as well. So again, if you haven't registered yet for the hackathon, go to hashgraphonline.com/hackathon and register. This is not the moment to get imposter syndrome. If you've never written code before, that's okay. We are in the agentic era. The ability to ship and deploy apps is easier than it's ever been. And I'm speaking as somebody who's been building software for over 15 years. And I am telling you that if you've never written code before, you can write an application and submit it to this hackathon. You might win money. You might win notoriety, and if anything at all, you will learn something that would be insanely valuable. And as Patches mentioned earlier, this is a new era, right? Like the mobile era or the Web 2 era that kicked off, and you can be on the ground floor by being a part of this hackathon and engaging with the Hedera ecosystem, which is very uniquely positioned to actually bridge AI and be a AI capital. Just start thinking about this idea of Hedera X AI and this demo day. Number 2, Hashgraph Online is giving away about $200 worth of pack, which is sponsored by Hashpack, as part of our next space, which would be on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So you'll be able to win from about $200 there, and it's very, very low effort to get involved in these giveaways. One of them is just a quote retweet. Literally anyone in this room can do it. And the second one is actually a mock pitch competition. So if you are a developer builder and you're entering the hackathon anyway, you can pitch your idea in front of judges and mentors that are actually engaging in this hackathon and get their opinion on it. It's a really good way to get feedback on it early before you submit, and also an opportunity to potentially win some pack tokens. So that's huge. And number three, like another non-tangible, we have incredible judges like James here. He's the founder of Neuron. The things that Neuron is doing on aviation, on the aviation side and the DPIN side are incredible. This is a really rare opportunity during the hackathon to get to pick his brain. We've got Brandon here is also a judge and mentor. We've got Jake and Ed, and we've got all these incredible people, and Ty, of course, who you can get mentorship and ideas from as being a participant in this hackathon. So I think those are the main things I wanted to touch on as we get ready to close this thing down. Just remember, demo day, pack tokens, mentorships, and other things as you turn the stream off.
I'm glad whoever that was ignored the call because we're more important. Appreciate it, guys.
Hello? Sorry, one sec. I'm on this internet show. Sorry, one sec. Sorry,
I got to give it to you guys. You guys are not only super intelligent in regards to what's going on here, but you guys love having fun while you're building. There's no better group of people to be building with in this space, man. I sincerely love every one of you and your hearts behind it all, between the building and just being excited to be in the space that most people, you know, are kind of like, maybe we'll get in there once it gets popular. No, this is the time now. And I think, Patches, you put it in so nicely. It's a matter of being here early, and it is early, right? We're seeing this explosion of technology, just, you know, with DLTs and merging it with AI. It's making all the difference in the world. And people, you either catch that wave now, or you're going to be, you know, wishing you had. You're going to be looking back, like we were talking about the early 2000s, saying, wow, I wish I was there. I wish I did something. I wish, you know, even though I don't know how to code, I wish I would have at least tried. I appreciate all you guys' you know, efforts and standardization and ensuring that people have the tools that they need to get to the next level. I'm going to go ahead and post this beautiful picture of Jay on X right now as the mech, so that we can, you know, get that popping for yeah, just tag you. I'm going to put that out there right now so people know exactly what we're talking about as far as Hedera is concerned. It's just going to be a good time. I appreciate you guys being here. This is not the last time that we're going to do a live stream. We'll even bring it to the next level next time around. Ed, appreciate you, you know, calling out for us, all our faces to be live on screen, letting people know that we are real, we are building, and we're ensuring that people have the tools necessary to take everything they want to do to the next level. So I appreciate all of you guys. It's been phenomenal. Make sure you got all those notifications set for these accounts so you don't miss the next time we go live and fill in with all of those details. And Jay, you're going live tomorrow, right?
We're live tomorrow. We're live tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So I hope to see everyone here nice and technical. If you've got questions as well, Mike, Cantor and I, we're going to be able to answer them, but mainly going to be vibe coding and probably just chatting a lot of rubbish as well.
Which is always fun. So thank y'all so much. We'll definitely see y'all again and keep building. Appreciate y'all.
Like, comment, subscribe.